Okay, I better just start recording this video because if I don't start recording this video, then I'll never record this video. I'm pretty bad. Pretty bad for like starting things. I tend to overthink them. This time I actually have notes. Took very rough notes. Tried to plan things out just a little bit. I've noticed that when I make these videos that I have more of a habit of not trying to like overthink it, but then that leads to sometimes the video doesn't flow as nicely, and also because at first I thought that these videos would go by really quick and be very, very easy to make, and they are quite easy to make, but I feel that they take just enough time that I want to make them just a little bit better than zero planning. I feel like it's probably a good idea. Anyways, my first note on this list is talk about taking notes. So I guess I did that. But yeah, taking notes, I'm pretty sure that it's going to help improve the video a little bit. The notes are quite broad. They're pretty broad. The next note I have here, it says, I guess I should first talk about just where I got the idea to take notes. People told me to take notes. They said, take some notes. Be a good idea. So now I'm taking notes. I don't think that there's very many ways to improve this type of video either than just get better at just rambling, get better at talking, making sure that I'm well slept and stuff like that is probably the biggest thing. But anyways, the next thing on the list is talk about how my laundry machine is broken. Pretty random thing, but it's kind of interesting. I needed to do some laundry eventually after it broke. I was debating on how I was going to do this, and I'm thinking to myself that I couldn't do laundry, and then I realized that I very well could do laundry, and that doing laundry doesn't really require very much. And that people have been doing it for probably years. Well, of course, people have been doing it for years without laundry machines. It made me think just how many things I probably could do that I don't realize I'm fully capable of doing. Probably a lot of stuff, I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how you get used to having like really convenient things to the point where you actually forget that you're capable of doing things in a different way. Speaking of doing things in a different way, I do have a small concern about kind of over planning this type of video. I feel that if I were to over plan this type of video, then it loses a bit of authenticity. And another thing that I've noticed is that by looking at these notes, my thoughts are not connected in any way, shape, or form. Like most of these notes bounce from topic to topic. I don't know how I'm supposed to transition from topic to topic is the thing. I'm not sure yet what drawings I'm going to feature in this video. I have one drawing that I've already finished, which I've recorded. You've probably already seen that drawing, or you're currently still watching that drawing, and I might add a second drawing. I'm not sure yet. I think I will. I'm not even holding the mic properly. I hope that it was picking up my audio properly. In the last video, I talked about how this is probably the first sketchbook that I'm gonna complete. It's not exactly true. I mean, I have filled up sketchbooks before, but I've never filled up a sketchbook with like complete drawings. I filled up sketchbooks with very rough, sketchy drawings, but those don't really count. I noticed like years ago that I had a really hard time filling those things because I just overthought every single thing that I was making. I used to want to make like comics, so I would really try to make sure that I was getting a certain look. That way it could be repeated page by page. But that kind of mindset kind of leads to not making so much rather than, I mean, I've heard people say that like creativity comes from doing the thing rather than what you should use to motivate you to do the thing, if that makes sense. I'm not sure. My notes here are not actually the greatest. I've ran out of notes. I have 2 notes left, and one of them was to talk about wanting to make comics when I was younger, and the other one, I didn't finish writing it. I had the idea right before I started recording, and I thought I would remember it, but now I've forgotten it. So that's unfortunate. As far as wanting to make comics, I used to like make comics and hand them out. I don't know if you know the book Captain Underpants, but in that book, the kids in that book, they make comics and they like hand them out and they photocopy them and such. I always thought that was cool. Used to make comics, little comics, folded up pieces of paper and whatnot. Never photocopied them. I don't have any of those comics. I have 1 or 2, but I don't have any of the really, really old ones, sadly. I probably made like 30 of those comics. they didn't really make much sense from what I remember. It might be a good thing that I lost them. But you know what? The ones that I have from more recently, maybe 10 years ago, those ones are pretty good. The style of video is really strange because, well, for one, I try to just record them whenever I get the chance, and then I try to edit them as soon as possible. That way I feel like it gives me the opportunity to make more art. But like, I could just go make more art, and realistically, if I didn't make any sort of video, I would make much more art. So it's not practical, and it doesn't make sense, but it is practical. But also another thing that I have noticed about this is it's almost like kind of like a vlog format almost, because it's just the rate in which I'm putting them out and the fact that I'm just trying to think of things to talk about. Most of the time throughout the day now, I'm just thinking like, oh, this is something possibly to talk about. My most viewed video, most successful video was the ballpoint pen video. I definitely could make more videos like that. I have been thinking about it, but that video, it really was just some inspiration hit at the perfect time. It's like when you have a feeling and it burns in your soul, you know, then you know that it's gonna do well. So yeah, unless another idea strikes similarly, then I don't think that I should make a video like that, because it kind of devalues any videos that I make like that. But yeah, I really hope that I can keep making videos every other day at least, like I have been with these type of videos. Yeah, anyways, I think that that's all that I have to say for now.